Here's the thing about lying. The good ones don't say a word. On my first day at Ashford Hills Preparatory, I walked into the cafeteria carrying a tray of dry chicken and an expression my mother had taught me to wear since I was 7. Bored. Slightly inconvenienced, like the room owed me something and was running late. I sat down at an empty table near the window. I didn't look around. I didn't smile. I cut my chicken into very small pieces and ate them like each bite was a personal insult. Within 90 seconds, 3 girls were standing at my table. The one in the middle had hair the color of expensive honey and a watch on her wrist that probably cost more than my mother's car. Her name, I would learn in about 4 minutes, was Madeline Ashford Crane. Yes, that Ashford. The school was named after her great-grandfather, which is the kind of detail people like Madeline drop into conversation the way other people mention the weather. She studied me. Then she did something I will remember for the rest of my life. She smiled.
You're new. Observant. I don't know your face. I don't know yours either. Madeline Ashford Crane. I know. Are you going to tell me yours? Eventually. Sit with us tomorrow. Maybe.
My name is Eliza Marin. And the reason Madeline Ashford Crane invited me to sit with her was not because I was beautiful or witty or rich. It was because I behaved exactly like someone who already was. My mother used to say that money has a posture. Old money slumps. New money sits up straight. Poor money apologizes for taking up space. She knew because she'd cleaned all 3 kinds of houses for 16 years. She was a cleaning lady. Is a cleaning lady. I have to keep correcting myself because for the last 3 months I'd been speaking about her in past tense, the way you speak about someone you've buried. She's not buried, but the woman who raised me, the one who hummed in 3 languages while she scrubbed grout, that version of her is gone. What replaced her sleeps 14 hours a day in a back bedroom in Lakeshore Heights and won't open the curtains. 6 months ago, my mother had been the head of household staff for the Ashford Cranes. Yes, those Ashford Cranes. She'd worked for them for 9 years. 9 years of polishing their floors, ironing their linens, raising their daughter when their daughter's mother was in Saint-Tropez. And then, one morning, she was fired. Quietly, without a reference, accused of stealing a watch worth $30,000. She didn't take it. I know she didn't take it. And I know who did. But knowing isn't the same as proving. And proving was going to require me to sit at Madeline's lunch table for as long as it took. So when Madeline invited me to sit with her, I made her wait 3 days before I said yes. Lesson 1 from my mother. Never seem grateful for a door that should have already been open to you. I'd been planning this for 4 months. I'd applied to Ashford Hills under my mother's maiden name, Marin instead of Calderon, using a scholarship she didn't know I'd qualified for. I'd told her I was attending public school in the next district. I'd practiced an accent that wasn't quite British and wasn't quite anything. The kind of voice that suggests boarding school in some country you can't immediately name. I'd studied Madeline for weeks. Her Instagram, her TikTok, the brand of sunglasses she wore, the way she tilted her head when she pretended to listen. By the time I sat at her table, I knew her better than she knew herself. The inner circle was Madeline plus 2 girls, Bryn and Catalina. Bryn laughed at everything Madeline said, even the things that weren't jokes. Catalina didn't laugh at
anything. Catalina was watching me, and I had to be careful with Catalina, because Catalina was the only one of them with eyes that worked. I made them like me by withholding. I gave them just enough. A vague mention of summers in Lake Como, a casual reference to my father's interests in shipping. And then I changed the subject. People want what they can't quite get. Within 2 weeks, I had a standing invitation to the Ashford Crane house on Friday nights. The house I needed to be inside.
My dad's hosting some boring donor dinner Friday. I have to do the daughter thing. Sounds tragic. Come suffer with me. I don't know your dad. Nobody does. He's allergic to personality. Madeline, that's mean. It's accurate. Eliza, please. I'll die otherwise. Fine. 1 drink. I'm not staying for dessert. Deal.
Walking through the front door of the Ashford Crane estate was the hardest thing I have ever done. My mother had walked through that door 6 days a week for nearly a decade. She'd entered through the side, of course, through the kitchen where staff entered. I came in through the front, and Madeline's father shook my hand, and he had no idea who I was. His name was Garrett Ashford Crane, mid-50s, silver at the temples. The kind of man who used the word charming about himself in the third person. He had a study upstairs that I needed to be inside for approximately 7 minutes. Just 7. I just needed 7 minutes alone with his desk. The dinner was a blur of rich people talking about real estate the way poor people talk about weather. Madeline got drunk on white wine and pulled me upstairs to show me her bedroom around 10 o'clock. Her room was at the end of a long hallway. Her father's study was 3 doors down. I told her I needed the bathroom. She waved me toward it, already collapsing onto her bed with her phone. I closed her door. I walked past the bathroom. I walked past 2 more doors. I tested the handle of the third. Open. The watch was in his desk drawer, not in a vault, not lost, not stolen, in his desk. The same watch he'd reported missing the morning my mother was walked off the property by security. The same watch he'd told the police she had taken. He kept it. As a trophy, maybe. As a reminder. I don't pretend to understand men like Garrett Ashford Crane. But I had a photograph of his trophy now. And I had the termination letter that called my mother a thief. What I didn't have, yet, was a way to use them. Lesson 2 from my mother. Evidence isn't enough. Audience is everything. I needed a room. A specific room. A room with the right people in it. That room arrived 3 weeks later. The Ashford Hills Founders Gala, held every November at the Ashford Crane Estate, open to alumni, faculty, parents, donors, press, local news. The Ashford Cranes always made the local paper for it. Garrett gave a speech about legacy and stewardship. I'd watched the recording from last year on YouTube. I'd watched it 19 times. Catalina was the one who almost stopped me. Quiet, watchful Catalina. 2 days before the gala, she cornered me in the hallway, between Latin and calculus.
Where did you say you were from again?
I didn't.
Your file's weird. You went through my file? My mother's on the admissions board. She mentioned a scholarship.
And?
And no one at this table is on scholarship, Eliza. Are you going to tell Madeline?
I haven't decided. What do you want?
I want to know why you're really here. Come to the gala. You'll find out.
Is it bad?
Yes.
Is it Madeline?
No.
Then I'll be there.
I will say this about Catalina. She was loyal to Nataline in a way I didn't expect. She wanted to know what she was about to be part of. And when she found out it wasn't aimed at her best friend, she made a choice I will never forget. She helped me. The night of the gala, the ballroom of the Ashford Crane estate held 240 people. I wore a dress my mother had made for my 8th grade graduation, taken in at the waist.
Darling.
Catalina handed me a glass of champagne I didn't drink. Madeline kissed my cheek and called me her good luck charm. At 9 o'clock, Garrett Ashford Crane took the stage to give his speech about legacy and stewardship. At 9:04, the projector behind him, the one that had been showing photographs of the school's history, switched feeds. Catalina had access to the EV system. She was the student liaison. She'd patched my phone in.
There's been some kind of mistake.
The watch in that photograph is in your desk drawer upstairs, top right. I can show anyone here who wants to see it. Rosa Marin Calderon worked for this family for 9 years. She was fired 6 months ago for stealing a watch that was never missing. She has not been able to work since. She cannot get a reference. She cannot leave her bed. She was my mother. Is my mother.
I will not tell you that everything was made right. It wasn't. The settlement my mother received from the Ashford Crane's attorneys 8 weeks later was generous enough to pay for a small house in a quieter neighborhood. The criminal case against Garrett went nowhere. Wealthy men have lawyers, and lawyers have ways. But the Founders Gala was filmed by 3 different parents. The footage was online before midnight. He stepped down from the school board in January. My mother opened the curtains for the first time the morning the news broke. Madeline never spoke to me again, which I did not blame her for. She had not done what her father did. She had also not stopped him. People can be both innocent and complicit, and I think that is the hardest kind of person to hate, because hating them feels like punching a child for something they only watched. Catalina texted me one line the morning after the gala. "You should have told me." I texted back, "I couldn't." And then, "Thank you." We are not friends, but we send each other a single message every year on the anniversary. Always the same. Still standing. My name is Eliza Maureen Calderon. I was the cleaning lady's daughter, and for one season of my life, 240 people at the most exclusive gala in the county thought I was their queen. I let them think it. Until I didn't.